Welcome to our Camino de Santiago. This historic pilgrimage follows various routes across Europe that lead to the cathedral in Santiago de Compostela, Spain, where St. James is believed to be buried. For many, it's a spiritual journey. For others, an adventure. For us, it was mostly the latter, but the stunning landscapes and magnificent cathedral still inspired a deep sense of awe and reverence.
We joined our friends Doug and Katie to walk the Portuguese route. The Portuguese route begins in Lisbon, passes through Porto, and ends in Santiago de Compostela. From Porto, where we started our journey, it's about 170 miles to Santiago, which takes about 2 weeks to complete on foot.
Given our limited time and our interest in visiting other parts of Spain and Germany, Dave and I walked only the first half of the Camino from Porto. We ended our journey after about 94 miles in Valencia, which is on the border between Portugal and Spain. From Valencia, we took a bus to Santiago. Our Camino comrades, Doug and Katie, continued on foot to the cathedral in Santiago.
We really enjoyed this journey, and maybe someday we will return to walk the remaining distance to Santiago. But for now, you can experience a little taste of our adventure on the Camino in our time in Santiago de Compostela. To start our trip, we loaded up our gear and drove to San Francisco to catch our flight. We're in Lisbon, Portugal. We arrived today. We flew overnight on an 11-hour flight from San Francisco, and we're here just one night. This is the beginning of our ultimately the Camino walk that we're going to do. Tomorrow we leave Lisbon and take a train to Porto, where we will start our walk. We're here with our friends Katie and Doug, and we're really looking forward to this trip and getting some walking in. After getting settled into our hotel, we walked around, explored the town, and went and tried to find something to eat.
Pretty narrow sidewalks, huh?
Yeah. Doug had read about a good restaurant in a guidebook. It took a little effort, but we eventually found it and had a nice lunch. All right, cheers.
Follow you. Yes, I remember flowers sending to blue skies, and you with your sweet smile holding me tight.
In the evening, we wrapped up our short stay in Lisbon by having a nice dinner in a restaurant that featured fado singers. Fado is a traditional style of Portuguese music. In the morning, we found this interesting cafe for breakfast. We quickly learned that you should check out every nondescript doorway or alleyway because you never know what you might find there. Later, we took a taxi to the train station and found our train, a high-speed train, to Porto. This sign on the desk at our hostel in Porto was a little intimidating for us old folks.
Cheers to Porto.
Once we got settled in and our gear somewhat organized, we set out to explore Porto.
I'm a discretion. Some of them just don't know. I'm a discretion. Some of them will see soon. I'm a discretion.
Yes, sir, my friend, it's blowing in the wind. Yes, sir, it's blowing in the wind.
We got some dinner in this food market that was connected to the train station. It was a lively place with a DJ located in a tower above the courtyard. We finished the evening with some gelato and headed back to get ready for our start on the Camino. The route begins at the cathedral in Porto, but before we began, we decided to explore the cathedral a bit. This is the official starting point where we got the first stamp in our credential. I'm standing in the plaza of the cathedral in Porto. After many months of talking and researching, planning, preparation, we're finally starting our Camino here in Porto. This is day one. We just got our first stamp and we're about to head on the trail. We didn't get very far before we decided to stop for breakfast. But now we're finally on our way. The route follows the Douro River for a few miles west to the mouth with the Atlantic Ocean. We've walked about 4 miles or so from the cathedral. We've reached the Atlantic Ocean, and what was I going to say?
And it's super fun and beautiful.
And I believe this is the first time I've been at the Atlantic Ocean. I think it's a first.
Except when you came over on the boat.
And it looks a lot like Pacific Ocean.
And we're seeing a few pilgrims as we walk. And this is our shortest day, so we think we can do it today.
We're over halfway to our first stop for the night, so piece of cake today.
Yeah.
After walking along the coast for a few miles, we reached our hostel for the night, the Fishtail Sea House in the town of Matosinhos. When we stepped out of our hostel in the morning, we were greeted by this line of buses picking up passengers from cruise ships that had arrived in the night. Our first order of business was to get some breakfast at a nearby coffee shop. We were amazed that most of the sidewalks and streets in Portugal are made of stone. So much work to create these patterns. We're on day 2 of our Camino walk. We spent the night in Matosinhos, which is just outside of Porto, actually like a suburb of Porto. Now we're leaving Matosinhos this morning. It's a little drizzly. We had some rain overnight, and we're heading probably about 12 miles to our next stop. We didn't get far before we found a group of pilgrims waiting for the drawbridge to reopen. Much of the route along the coast follows boardwalks just like this. These are Roman stone pits used for salting fish. Just about to complete day 2 on the Camino. We did about somewhere around 13 miles today, and wasn't too bad. Tomorrow's a bigger day, but it was a good day. There weren't many restaurant options nearby, but we found decent food in a little casual restaurant. Day 3 on the Camino. We're heading out. Get a little earlier start today, around 7:15 or so. And it's another sort of long day, so we'll see how it goes. We'll get back to you. This was another case where walking through a nondescript door and down a hallway led to a nice spot for breakfast. It wasn't long after navigating our way through this construction zone that we ended up in a really nice little shopping district in the town of Póvoa de Varzim. On this day, the sun was out, and so was the wind. This was the only golf course we saw on the entire trip. We ended our day in this nice hostel in the town of Fao. Don't let these sunny skies deceive you. Our day did not end this way. we got used to younger pilgrims often passing us along the way. We're on day 3, or day 4 of our walk. Part way into it, maybe a third. It's going to be a long day today, somewhere between 18, 20 miles, depending on who or what app we believe.
22.
Jen's saying 22 miles, so I hope she's wrong, but we're somewhere near a third, and we're doing the coastal route today. We're not near the ocean like we've been up to this point. So, wish us luck for this long day.
Please, Lord, feed us today.
Let us find it.
Let us find lunch.
Lunch that's open.
Lunch that's open that has gluten-free, please.
Needless to say, we were struggling to find a place for lunch at this point in the day. Shortly after Jen's prayer for lunch, we found the only lunch spot in the area.
This
is our first donutino.
This is what I was hoping for. Now I'm not hungry.
I know.
Oh, we gotta take a picture. Message for Doug and Katie.
Yeah. Hi, Doug. We're very surprised that you've managed to get a taxi.
It's just not allowed.
I think your bag was too heavy, was it? Sorry about
That was Patrick and Mark, two friendly Irishmen that we ran into now and then. A few miles before our destination, the rain began. Crossing this long, narrow bridge in the rain and traffic was not a pleasant experience. After a long day, we finally arrived in Viana do Castelo, but couldn't find an open restaurant to get dinner before we headed to our accommodations. Somehow we ended up in a mall where we were able to eat in the food court. After dinner, we took the funicular, before it closed for the night, to the top of Mount Santa Luisa, where our albergue was awaiting us. This was our only shared accommodations on the trip, with 8 bunk beds in our room. This albergue is part of a church on top of Mount Santa Luisa, so before heading out on the trail, we explored the grounds a bit. Next, we took the funicular down the hill to get started walking.
This was our last day with Katie and Doug before we went our separate ways. We enjoyed our midday stop for some refreshments and food. After walking inland for the last couple days, we were back on the coast. Here, the professor gives us a geology lesson. In the afternoon, the sun finally came out, revealing this beautiful section of coastline. Our hotel was right across the street from a beautiful beach and the ocean. The town was getting prepared for an upcoming festival, so we were able to enjoy the decorations. We celebrated the end of our time with Katie and Doug with a nice seafood dinner.
Today we leave our friends Katie and Doug on our own. We're separating our routes. They're doing the whole route to Santiago. We're only doing partial routes. So we need to take a route that'll get us to a bus station. So that's what we're doing. We'll be arriving at the end of our walk tomorrow and then catching a bus to Santiago. Bon Camino!
This route follows the ocean for a few miles and then turns inland and parallels the Minho River. As usual, we enjoyed our stop for a Coke Zero and a snack. Sometimes it seems like the markers are taking us right through somebody's porch and backyard.
After 6 days on the Camino, a theme has developed. We're finding our actual miles are always significantly longer than our estimated miles. Every day seems to be longer than we thought. And today, day 6, is no different.
This wasn't our longest day on the Camino, but it was definitely our most tiring due to the number of hills we encountered. We were relieved to finally get to our hotel so we could get some rest.
We're starting our last day on the Camino. We're heading to the town of Valencia, which we estimate is about 9.5 miles. We'll see. In Valencia, we'll end our walk on the Camino and then take a bus the remaining distance to Santiago de Compostela.
Look at you! You are very handsome. Oh, and friendly. Oh.
Stop your engines, we're done. It's our hotel.
We are? We did it! We did the halfway mark. Woo.
And so it ends, our walk on the Camino. Across the street from our hotel is an old fort that is now full of restaurants and shops. So after we checked into the hotel, we explored the fort area.
We are here in Valencia, celebrating the end of our walk on the Camino. We're in the fort, which is like a little old shopping district of shops and restaurants. And we're having our glass of beer and glass of wine to celebrate.
Cheers. We walked
93 miles
93 miles. In how many days?
in 7 days. 13.4 miles a day, something like that.
It seemed a lot harder while I was doing it. It doesn't sound as impressive, but I'll drink to it.
Seems easy now that we're sitting here with our drinks and done.
French fries are on the way.
Across the Minho River from Valencia is the town of Tui in Spain. You probably thought, or at least hoped, that that was the end of the video, but we still had to catch a bus to Santiago de Compostela, which is where all the Camino routes converge. This is the plaza where the pilgrims gather when they've completed their Camino. As to be expected, the plaza was full of people with backpacks and other tourists.
Cheers. I say cheers in Spanish.
I don't know.
We found this line at the back of the church. We found out it was to get in behind the altar of the cathedral to visit St. James. So we got in line and were able to explore the depths of the church a bit. We found a nice tapas bar for dinner. Our first stop in the morning was the Cathedral Museum. We followed up the museum with a tour of the cathedral rooftop. In the plaza below us, there was a protest related to the recent forest fires in Spain. Shortly before we left Santiago, we stumbled upon this procession to a nearby church.
that's a wrap on our Camino portion of our trip. Today we leave Santiago and head to Madrid, and you'll have to watch the next video for that.